to Spare Time Talks. Welcome to Spare Time Talks.
Alrighty.
Welcome to Spare Time Talks.
I don't know how should we start this off.
Welcome to Spare Time Talks.
I don't know how should we start this off.
Okay, so we've talked about expanding our channel
Yeah,
so that we could grow new audiences.
Yes. And taking a note, I guess, from my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've had this in mind. I mean, we even starting Spare Time, we talked about it being a podcast.
Yeah.
Even though it's evolved into more of an entertainment YouTube show.
It's like a comedic variety show.
Yeah. Well, not really variety show.
I mean, we do different things, right?
True. So, taking that, we have created, or we're gonna create our own podcast, and with just in the moment, we settled on a name, and that is Spare Time Talks. So, welcome to, I guess, episode 000,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it. Even if this doesn't end up going anywhere, like this particular recording, we'll have some good test audio. And this comes off the heels of our latest recording for a sketch that we just did, which I think is going to be pretty funny, and I think our current audience through Spare Time is going to enjoy it.
And it seems like this is kind of where a lot of YouTube channels are going.
Yeah, like a lot of these entertainment channels have some type of podcast. Now, this won't go on YouTube.
No.
If anything, I'd rather use the same hosting site that my brother has. And in case you guys are wondering, that is the Jared Watson Show. And those guys are pretty funny. They're a little more serious, I think, than we are.
I really like the... we won't talk too much about it, but I really like the religion episode.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first time I listened to it without you.
Yeah, it was good. I have a lot of time going to work, so that's when I listened to them, and it was good.
My side's all wet.
Well, that's your own fault. So
In the skit, I just let beer fall out of my mouth.
now, right now we're doing this with our equipment in our studio for Spare Time, and I think this is going to be really hard to judge mic levels, and I think down the road we want a more traditional podcast setup.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sake of doing this on the fly, we're just doing this.
How do you feel about having like bar noises in the background during our podcast?
That'd be kind of interesting. I like that.
It adds a little something,
Yeah,
doesn't
like
it?
a little bit of a distracting noise in the background to make you feel. Yeah, dude, that's legit.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that.
So speaking of bars, you were telling me about drinking,
Oh yeah.
and I thought about, well, what if we just kind of use this topic to talk about our drinking, because we do drink a lot.
Yeah, we do. At least I did. I haven't been lately.
Mm-hmm.
And the comment I was making is, like, I'd like to say that this is the first alcoholic beverage I've had all week, but it's not. And the reason I haven't been drinking during the week is just because of work, and I got to be up at 6:30 every day, at least, to get to work on time. So what I've been doing is not drinking. But Thursday night, I felt like I could use a beverage, and I bought a bottle of wine, and I went home and I had wine and beer, but like the beer I mentioned was unintentional.
Yeah.
So I went and I drank the rest of this bottle I had at home. I had like one glass in it, and I found out my mom's friend was in town, who I know, he's a good guy, and they were all going out. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll go meet up with them. I don't have a whole lot of time to see these people anymore. And I went and met up with them and talked to him for a minute and had 2 beers. And that's why they were unintentional. And came home and had a bottle of wine. And it was a very bad decision. I woke up on time, granted. I actually woke up at like 4 in the morning and was like, yes, I have 2 more hours of sleep, but my head hurts. And took some Tylenol, went back to sleep. Woke up okay, just feeling tired because that's what alcohol does to you. And went to work, and as I was at work, like the headache, the Tylenol started wearing off, and the headache came back, and it was miserable the entire day.
Did the headache give you a stomachache as well?
No, I was okay. In fact, I had to eat almost immediately.
That's always my problem. Like, my pains turn into stomach aches, and I end up having to throw up.
Yeah, I can see that. Quick side note, kind of talk more directly to this,
Gotcha.
as opposed to like this.
You called me while I was in Chicago drunk, and it was like 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
I was drunk?
Yeah. You told me, you're like, I miss you, man.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm
this
drunk.
this was Sunday.
Yeah.
So like I said, my work schedule is just crazy right now because I just got promoted and just I don't have a rep. I don't have a rep that I need in my store, so I have to cover that. Mm-hmm. So I'm working over 50 hours a week, which I'm not complaining. It's what I do. You know, I chose that. Like, why complain about it? And so I came home Saturday so exhausted that I just fell asleep. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not drinking. Because I was tired and I had a headache. And I was just like, I'm going to bed. And I woke up the next day and I was like, shit, I kind of want to drink. Because I didn't drink on Saturday. And so I went and bought alcohol on Sunday, got day drunk, and played Quantum Break. And it was great.
You said you started drinking at like 11, right? 11 a.m.?
No, I waited until like noon.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like I felt like because I went and got food. Mm-hmm. Like I got something to eat, and like while I got something to eat, I picked up beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna eat first and do all this. I'm gonna wait a little while, digest, and then I'll start on the beer. So I think it was around 1 I started.
Mm-hmm. See, I slowed down as well, but that's still a lot of drinking for a normal person.
It is.
Because I have this thing where I feel like every activity that I do, I have to drink.
Yeah.
Where it's playing video games, watching YouTube, watching Netflix, painting.
Right, yeah.
Spare time. We always drink on spare time.
Yeah, but this is like, for you, like, this might be more of a normal occasion. Mm-hmm. But for me, this is like special.
That's the thing. It's better for you. It's like, Amanda and I were talking. Amanda's my wife. And she was like, I'd be less upset that you drank if you worked normal hours like a normal person does.
Right.
But I have a lot of days off, and I'm still drinking like a person with a...
Well, you know what? I like, before I got promoted and everything at work, like, I had more time.
Dude, you drink way more than I do.
I drank a shit ton.
Every single night you were drinking.
Just about. Like, yeah. I'd go and pick up a bottle of wine or a 12-pack or something, which I got
sometimes
on this...
both.
Yeah, sometimes both. Yeah. Like, I got on this wine kick, and, you know, I love wine. It's so good. Mm-hmm. And, so, I mean, yeah, I drank a lot over that period of time, and it wasn't that I had to or need to, because I can stop. I've stopped. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't need to drink. It's enjoyable to me, though. It's an enjoyable activity. It's something that relaxes me, though. But I mean, that's any drug. And bottom line, alcohol is a drug. Mm-hmm. It's just not as... I'd rather smoke pot, I think. But that's not as accessible as going to a gas station and buying a 12-pack. So, I mean... It is what it is, I guess.
I think a lot of the taboos of drinking is like, not a lot of people do it. And they do, but it's like a party
kind of... Are you
kinda,
kidding me? No,
it's like a party
I mean,
kind
come
of
on,
thing.
though. Think about it.
Well,
my dad drinks every day. Just about.
Okay.
And he's not a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
It's what he does.
Well, okay, what about people our age? Do you think it's a normal thing?
Yeah. Like, there's still people our age that go and party.
Yeah. Well, partying, yeah, that's what I mean.
But I mean,
Like, oh, I'm cooking. Let's have 4 beers while I do that. Is that
see,
normal?
but I feel like this is the adulthood that I have grown into and will
Yeah.
continue to grow into, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if I'm not overdoing it. And that's, I think that's a good point, is that anything that you do, and we all have issues with this, is okay in moderation. Unless you're talking about like heroin or meth, because then you're destroying your life. But anything in moderation is potentially okay. And I feel like alcohol falls into that category. And yeah, you can have your moments where you are doing it way too much, but you need to realize it, take a step back, which I think we've done from time to time. And this is going to sound like denial, but I don't think we're alcoholics.
No. I don't need it in the morning when I get up.
Right, yeah. I don't get the shakes.
No. And most times, if I do binge, I won't drink for 2 days, you know?
Yeah, like I go multiple days without it, but and maybe that's what it is that we're not alcoholics, but we can be binge drinkers. Like when I start, I don't always want to stop.
But some people will say that's alcoholism. It's just different form.
Different form, yeah. But I can also have my nights where I don't binge. I could drink 3 beers and pass out.
Yeah.
Though there's probably times where I pass out and I look like an alcoholic because I'll just be sitting in my chair with a beer in my hand, asleep.
Oh, been there. Do you have anybody in your life that gets angry at your drinking?
No. I don't. No, not really. My sister will be like, "Oh, really? Like, really?"
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. So, I mean, and I'm going to try really hard not to name names, but yeah. It's just, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I guess what's the difference between me and you? I need to cut and pee.
You don't have to cut yourself to pee.
to Spare Time Talks.
So, I mean, as a trial run for this, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll come up with topics. Maybe we won't. If we come up with topics, it's not going to be scripted.
If this never goes anywhere, I still want to have the alcohol topic because it's something that we deal with every day.
We'll dive deeper into it.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, I mean, this is it. This is our first test. Possibly in episode 000. Possibly not. No one may ever hear this. Ever. But if you do, thank you for listening, and
Thanks for giving us your spare time.